Alright, so today we are gonna be making masks. Face masks out of old clothes. So I have a pair of old pants that I found in the Lost and Found.
And I took this from a dress.
Nice.
So first you want to cut a square out of your fabric, and you want it to be, you want to measure your face. So this one, as you can see, like goes to my cheekbones right here. You don't want it to go all the way to your ears because you'll have the straps.
Because then it'll be like a bandana instead of a face mask.
And then you want to cut the length of it to about 6 inches. So I'm going to use this as a guide.
See, on this one that Annie's doing, she had to fold the edges over so that it just makes it look nicer.
Yeah, so give a little bit of extra space, but not too much.
A little bit of extra space. I would say that this would be enough for a face mask for me, but I'm gonna cut it to like here so that I can fold over the edges. If you have scissors that are larger than this, I would recommend using them.
Alright, so I have my piece here, and as you can see, this length is still going to be the same, except for a little bit that I'm going to fold over as a hem, and then it's going to, right now it looks a lot longer because I'm going to pleat it up, and then you get this here, so it fits your face better. And you want to cut 2 pieces of fabric. One that's your pattern fabric, that's the outside. So here it's a green. And then on this side, there's just a backing fabric. And this can be anything you want. It can be the same fabric you use for the front, or you can just use something plain, up to you. Or you can make it double-sided and have 2 different patterns.
Reversible.
Reversible. For any outfit.
Okay. So now that I have my square cut out, because I'm using pants, mine already has 2 layers to it. So I'm probably just gonna leave mine as this and not do another piece behind it.
Okay. Next step. So now you have either your 2 of the same fabric already together, or like mine, you have 2 different fabrics. And you're first going to pin and hem the top and the bottom. So up here and then down here. And you're just going to take, you can use safety pins for this. You can honestly use regular sewing needles for this. But you're going to go down, let's say like 1 centimeter. Thank you. And you're just going to make sure that this stays enough so you can sew without having to constantly hold it down.
I don't have to do my top side because it's already done from being a pant leg, so I cheated a little bit.
Just a little bit. But that's okay. Honestly, these are the easiest face masks because you can use anything that you already have laying around.
Any kind of fabric
Yeah.
that you don't use anymore for anything else.
And remember to ask a parent or guardian about using sewing supplies.
Needles and sharp objects.
Yeah. So I have this pinned down. I only use 3 pins. You can use more if you want it to be really exact, but I just want to get it in place enough so I can sew it. And then you'll do the same to the bottom. And you want to make sure that your 2 fabrics are lining up. and you'll find that this hemming can take up a lot more fabric than you think, so you always want to cut something bigger than you think it should be.
It's always better to have extra
than that you cut off.
Not enough. Because then you won't be able to cover your nose and mouth.
Right. Alright, so now we have the front here, and you can see now this edge is really clean. If you really want to be fancy, you can use an iron to make it really crisp. But we're not going to do that. And this is the back, so both sides are folded in. And all I'm going to do now is sew along here. You can use whatever stitch you're most comfortable with. Just make sure that they're not too far apart. You want to get them close together, even though it does take longer, because hopefully you'll be wearing this often and you don't want it to fall apart. So I have the knot in the back, and I'm just going to go in a line through the middle of this fold. Here are my pins over here holding it down on the other side. I'm going to try and keep it in as straight of a line as possible. Don't be afraid to go slowly. And then what I do is I sew backwards on the top.
Let me get a real close up.
Can you see with my hands? And then forwards in the back.
Forwards a bunch and then back a little.
Yeah, so you meet your last stitch in the back. And what this will look like eventually is like that.
Nice. So you just repeat that step until you're all the way across.
On the top and the bottom.
On the top and the bottom.
So next we're going to do the pleats, and you can do anything, anywhere from 2 to 3 pleats, and that will just help your mask open up over your face like this. So I'm going to do 3 here, and depending on the fabric you have, it can be very helpful if you use an iron. This will just make sure that the pleats stay and are a little bit crisper, but this does not have to be perfect, so I'm just doing folds that I'll pin in the middle. And I'm going to do one here. I'll show you the side. So this looks like that. I'll add another pin. Using the wrong side.
You can do as few or as many folds as you'd like to as well.
And then one more at the bottom. And it's helpful this time if I went from the bottom side here. Sometimes you can't fit in 3 or 4, sometimes you can, it just depends. So then once you have your pleats in the middle, all you're gonna do is like what we did at the top and fold the whole thing backwards. So this on the inside is where you're gonna have all of this back part going on. So then what I'll do is, holding this down, I'm gonna pin it and then sew it the same way we did the top. So it will look like this. You can see I have my stitches on the top and then my stitches on the back with our pleats here. And again, it does help if you have an iron to fold this all down if you like to make it a perfect fold, but it doesn't have to be perfect. This works just fine. So finally, you're gonna add the, what do you call these?
Ear straps.
The ear straps on. I used these stretchy ones from a disposable mask that I just took off. But you can use either more strips of fabric like this. You can also use yarn.
Or shoestring.
Or shoestring, exactly.
Shoelace.
If you want to make it adjustable, you can have them tie. So I'll have, instead of one piece, you'll sew on two, and then you'll tie them behind your ears. Or you can make a longer one.
And tie it around the back of your head.
Yes, well. Also that. But basically what you'll do is measure it so it fits your ears, and then just sew each side onto the back of the mask where you hemmed the pleats. And then you're done.
Nice.